with Gary and Jamie, I felt almost paternal.
The more than 3,000?
The one that always comes up is Bruno Fernandes.
So what do you say?
Bruno Fernandes.
You can't win, can you?
Everybody's entitled to their opinion.
Definitely remember the noise.
I knew he'd score before he knew he'd score. I'm accused by Manchester City fans of being too excited.
The pause from Aguero to then just silence is everything.
When it's my time is up on this earth, I'll be remembered for one word.
Hi, I'm Joleon Lescott.
And I'm Olivia Bazaglo. This is In the Mixer, brought to you by Sky Bet, the show that always has an opinion about the game.
We want to hear your thoughts, so get involved in the comments below.
This week, we're joined by one of the most iconic voices in football history, the man behind some of the game's greatest moments, and a huge Woking fan. We've got Martin Tyler joining us on In the Mixer. I mean, Martin, just first of all, I mean, it's for good reason, but I can't believe we're on a show and Chelsea have beaten the champions and I don't even get to talk.
Wow.
I don't even get to talk about
that
it.
Is not in the script,
Okay, we'll leave it for this week. I can just enjoy it for the rest of the international break.
I've known you a long time, Olivia, and I love you to bits, but you choosing Chelsea over Woking is unforgivable, I'm afraid.
I know I choose both of them.
No, you don't really.
Okay, well, how was Woking getting on the weekend? Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, spot on.
So
Do you know what,
choose both
Martin?
of them.
I blame my dad for that.
Well, that's the connection, because Olivia's dad, I'm sure many people know this, was a wonderful goal scorer for Woking.
I didn't know.
Did you not know that?
No.
He scored a hat-trick at West Bromwich Albion, and they won 4-2, and Tim Bazaglo scored a hat-trick.
The original?
The
Yeah.
original Bazaglo.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Didn't know that. Yeah, Dad had his little,
Moment.
FA Cup. Yeah,
Yeah,
he had
man.
his little FA Cup moment. But Martin, I suppose we've got both of you in the room, so it's only fair, I suppose, we talk about that Aguero moment. The most iconic bit of commentary in Premier League history. I don't think it'll ever be beaten. From your perspective, we'll get your perspective in a second, because this must be unreal that have you spoken about it together or not
We've
really?
been at a couple of reunions together, haven't we?
We did the 10-year anniversary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I really want to know your side of it, because I know where I was, and everybody knows where I was, and what my view of it was, the camera's view of it. The one thing I would say about it, that when it went 2-2, you know it could happen. And you're just like on your toes, really. I had no idea what I would say and who would score the goal. I mean, it could have been Dzeko who got the 2-2 goal, of course. And it could have been Lescott, which would have been a lot of T's on the end. And I was lucky enough around these reunions to meet Sergio and have a good chat with him about it. And the one thing, it sounds very pompous for me to say it, but I genuinely believe it. I knew he'd score before he knew he'd score, because he took a touch. And he's Aguero.
Yeah.
And so the second touch was only going in one direction.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. Mark Hughes was the manager of Queen's Park Rangers and former Manchester City manager, former Manchester United legend.
Signed me.
Yeah,
Man City.
He said the next night was the LMA dinner, the Managers Association dinner in London. By complete chance, I bumped into him in the foyer of the hotel where it was staged. He said it was the noisiest moment in a football ground he'd ever heard. Now, this is Mark Hughes, Barcelona, Man United, Bayern Munich, international football, managing and all around the globe. And he said the noisiest moment. And that's, I think, why after I said Aguero, I didn't say anything for 10 or 11 seconds, because it would have been just lost in there.
The pause from Aguero to then just silence is everything, and it makes the goal just...
it's nice to be a commentator known for one's silence.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah.
But isn't that...
Handy compliment, that sounds like
but isn't that important for a
It was important.
Isn't it, you're just told sometimes to just, not that I'm speaking from experience, but when I've spoken to commentators, they say it's often as important to sometimes just put the mic down and let the moment,
One person we should mention in this is Niall Quinn, who was my co-commentator.
Yeah.
And his words that people always cut out after I've given it the gun, But his words were brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And for him, he's not a professional broadcaster, but a very articulate man. And he absolutely nailed it as well. But it was only afterwards. It would be stupid for me to say, "Oh, it doesn't matter in my life." I get asked about it pretty much every week. Yeah. So it's very special, and I know when it's my time is up on this earth, I'll be remembered for one word with a lot of O's on it.
It's like a painting.
It could be a lot worse.
It's a painting at the stadium. So have you seen the painting at the stadium in the lounge, 9320 lounge, and it's like Aguero across the wall, and there's pure O's like.
I went to see City play Crystal Palace in April, and as a guest of Darren Cann, the assistant referee, it was his last game. And he invited me, we'd go back a long way together, and I had a free Saturday, and I went to the game. At the end of the game, this young lady came down and started to pull up, and she got tattooed the commentary on the tattoo on it. And I go, oh, goodness me, you know.
It means a lot to a lot of people.
Yeah, I know, ringtones and stuff like that. So,
imagine that.
I think...
You've monetized that, sure.
No, not at all. No.
Someone's making money, Mike. It should be you.
No, what I would say is, I think the bottom line for me is, I could have messed it up, because in commentary, you're just, you know, it's a thing. We all live as commentators on the edge, really, of have we got it right, you know? So on that day, on May the 13th, 2012, it came out in the right order.
It absolutely did. Okay, now from your perspective, Joleon, because obviously you were there. You were, where were you? What were you?
I was on the halfway line, and like Martin said then, having played with Sergio after that, there's like a position on the pitch that you know. It's like Thierry Henry cutting in after left. You know there's a finish. That is Sergio's finish, like near post, and he's going to the near post. Like he did it against United after that, and he did it against a few other teams, Liverpool as well. So having seen him after, if there's a person that's made for that finish, it is Sergio. Obviously, I didn't know he was going to be that prolific. When he does them things, I used to speak to him about what he used to think about his standing foot. The importance of his standing foot rather than his striking foot. He said, I knew I was going to strike the ball, but he used to make sure his standing foot was in a position where he would allow his body to swing through all the time. I was just like, how much level of composure you must have in them moments. But I was on a halfway line. Obviously, I didn't hear the commentary, but the only thing I don't remember the goal going in.
Do you remember like where you ran to?
Yeah, I remember that. So I ran to the dugout and he's running towards me, and I'm thinking, I'm obviously a lot bigger than him. I'm thinking, you need to brace yourself because I'm jumping on you. Like, I think he was looking to do that to me, but that wasn't happening. So I ran and I just jumped on him, and we just obviously embraced. But I definitely remember the noise. That was the one thing I can remember. I can't remember like how it got to the goal and what happened. I just hit that noise. I've never heard a noise like that in the football stadium.
That's great that you confirmed that, because Mark obviously was a loser of the match. They stayed up, so everyone was a winner in the end in the game.
Martin, you've commentated on some of the biggest and best players we've ever seen play football. Who was your favourite to commentate on? Who and what game did you enjoy the most?
Well, I can do the second question easier,
okay.
Which was, I've been a stock answer for the period of time since it happened. It was 1996, was Liverpool 4, Newcastle 3, which ended with Stan Collymore scoring the winner in added time. And Liverpool, I think Robbie Fowler got 2, Stan got 2, and Ginola scored for Newcastle, Asprilla scored. I think Soles got the other one. And it really, I think, epitomised everything that's good about football. Both teams were going for the title. Neither of them won it. They almost punched themselves out, really, in that night. There was Kevin Keegan hanging over the advertising boards, a famous shot when the 7th goal of the game went in. I've told this story a few times, but I'll share it with you again. 2014 World Cup, first game in Brazil, in Sao Paulo. Stan's working for TalkSport. And unusual for a ground, they had a lift up to the top high commentary position. So Stan and I are going up in the lift to start our work, and the lift door opens up at the gantry level. Staring us in the face to come into the lift was Tino Asprilla. And he goes to Stan, without thinking, like, he goes, "You cost me my Premier League winners' medal." And they just both burst out laughing. It was, and I thought, it means that much, that an instinctive reaction goes back to that game. So there've been some very good ones. I thought, had Coventry beaten Manchester United, the semi-final I did a couple of years ago now, that would have been right up there with it, with a comeback and the difference in divisions and everything. It was a goal that was disallowed, but
I remember.
Could have got them through. Would have got them through probably. So, but that's the one. Players. I was a wannabe non-league centre forward. I love the centre forwards. I love the ones. I'm 6'3". If they're that kind of size and bigger, I mean, Erling Haaland is amazing.
Yeah.
He's truly a phenomenon. You run out of words, Colossus. So I would say he's to watch him. I did the Monaco game the other day, and he scored with a reach to lift it over the goalkeeper that would be beyond most players. And a header, he will tell you that he had to learn to head the ball. It wasn't something that was instinctive for him. So he's added that to his game, and he scored with a header from around the penalty spot as well. So he's good. Marco van Basten was a particular favourite because he embodied everything that was good about forward players. You know, he scored a hat-trick against England. So you've got to be pretty good to do that, haven't you? Actually, you might have played in the game. Ricky Lambert, first game of the next season.
Yeah.
Southampton at home.
I should have given
Ricky,
a pen.
Ricky comes.
Should have given away a pen.
It would have been a pen. It was a bad tackle.
Ricky comes on as a substitute, and he's come from the fourth tier and non-league and everything. And I'd been to, as commentators did their prep, I'd been down to see Southampton, and I had met Ricky a few times before. I said, maybe I'll get to your commentator on your first Premier League goal. He said, I'm only sub. So that was the backdoor. He was the sub, and he comes on and he scores. And if I don't know whether that's out there on the internet. I'm sure it is somewhere. If there is an accusation of a bit of personal bias for somebody who'd made a long journey to that moment. So he's the kind of player that, I suppose I tried to be. Great story. Great story. Goal scorers. It is.
All about
it is the hardest thing to do, whatever anybody else
I don't know
says.
anymore. I don't know if it's that hard anymore.
Did you ever get 2 in a league game?
Yeah, I did. Against Villa.
Yeah. Martin, you mentioned, that whole Ricky Lambert situation and a little bit of, personal bias.
Yeah.
I know how many people moan about commentary and what people say. Have you ever been accused of having a club bias or maybe having a bias against a certain team?
Oh, it happens to all commentators, and especially with social media, people have their opinions. One newspaper, I did a League Cup final when Manchester United played Southampton, funny enough, talking about Ricky, and the Daily Telegraph, I think it was, published 2 tweets the next day, one saying I was the most biased commentator in favour of Man United, and the other one saying I was the most biased commentator in favour of Southampton. So it did the whole profession a favour, really, because, you accept that. But I'm a Woking fan. I've never been anything else but a Woking fan. And so I know in my own skin that there's not bias. Some days you get the score. I was Jamie Mackey's goal.
Oh, yeah.
I'm accused by Manchester City fans of being too excited. They go 2-1 up. They're trying to stay in the league. Yeah, and I gave it too much. It was only one person, to be fair. It was quite a surprise to say. And it was at that reunion where they were playing it, and it hadn't come up yet. So then the game was going through, and Jamie Mackey scores on the video. They go, there you go.
You can't win, can you?
Well,
say too little, say too much, get too excited, not get excited enough.
It's everybody's entitled to their opinion. We're all football fans. And we've all got one vote in that respect. And I don't have any problem with people thinking what they think, as long as you know in yourself that you're not doing something. Yeah, that is a bit of a confession about Ricky, but it was very personal, and they lost the game. So.
You will have commentated, obviously, with co-coms, and I suppose let's talk about your time at Sky Sports, because that is where, obviously, the Aguero moment came, and I just with your co-commentators, what is it like when they are such fans? Because we see, videos now of Jamie Carragher, Gary Neville, that they're brilliant co-commentators, both of them, but they are very animated and they are fans of the game. Do you find that, how do you enjoy working with players like that?
Their love of the game is the most important thing, and that's passionate, absolutely passionate. And I think the company and obviously the viewers as well accept that when their team is playing, that you're going to get a different slant on it. But if their team doesn't play well in those games, then that comes through as well. So you could easily say, well, we should get somebody who's obviously more neutral for say, but Man United v Liverpool, it was one of the great days, really, for those who are broadcasting. You just don't know where they are half the time. They're jumping up and down on these gantries.
Who's better?
I can't answer that.
So that means there is one. That means there is one that's better.
No. That's like asking who your favourite child is.
Yeah, go on, Joe. How many kids have you got?
3.
You can't answer that.
That's not the same.
It is.
You don't love them as much as I love my kids.
No. You might.
With Gary and Jamie, I felt very sort of almost paternal towards them.
I never asked you who's your favourite, though. I said, who's better?
Oh, who,
Oh, no.
then who do you think's better?
Yeah, you
let's flip
Who
that
do I
around and
think
ask
that's better
Joleon.
out of them two? I think they're both decent, to be fair. I would say, who do I
Don't you?
put?
You're not allowed to sit on the fence now.
In general, I'll probably say Gary, like for more games, but like say the big intense Liverpool games and the derby games against United, I would say Jamie.
I don't know, but I felt that it was my job with anybody I'm co-commentating for them to enjoy the day, and that I would take any, if you like, technical hits or anything like that because I'm the professional there. I'm supposed to be there. They're not. You know, we're asking them to come and be broadcasters. Now they are, of course. Well, they've done so much. They are broadcasters, but when they start, and there are so many different. I could write a very long list of people I've co-commentated with, but when we started, of course, we didn't have it. It was just a solo thing.
Yeah.
And it's changed a lot. Before my very first game, which was a long time ago, John Motson was the BBC Match of the Day commentator, and I knew him quite well, and I was sort of working around television, but not as a commentator, because he found out I was doing my first game. He sent me a message saying, talk little, but say a lot. And I thought that was great advice. And certainly in that period in the 70s. But when you get two voices, and now three voices sometimes, and somebody else down on the touchline, there's a lot of radio-ness about the television commentary, whereas before it was maybe just a little more laid back, really. And then you've got something for the very big moments. And those moments, I mean, people asked me to do Aguero. I couldn't possibly do that again to the justice of it because the moment it took me and my voice and everything about me to a place that you can only get to when those things happen. But I can shout "and it's live," which is what I always say, and that's what I normally do if people want me to do anything into their phones now. But so I think it's moved on, but the world has moved on, and it's not so. I think the entertainment is very important in the work that these guys do, you know. And if they grab you, even if they might irritate you, there's some reaction. You get a reaction in that, rather than being bland and straight down the middle and everything. So that's changed a lot. Opinion, social media, obviously, has changed a lot. But I think that they are both very, very good.
Do you know what's actually funny? Because there are some commentators I don't like listening to when they're commentating on their own clubs. But Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher are an exception. I enjoy listening to them, and I think
because they're fair, they're balanced.
Sometimes I think Gary Neville under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because obviously they were close and they were friends. I did find that was he didn't want to criticise him too much, which I sort of get. It's tough.
It is tough if you know people. I had Gareth Southgate was playing for Villa against Chelsea, made two mistakes, and he was playing for England at the time. And I saw him about probably a month later, and I said, "I'm sorry, I had to, criticise you for that." And he went, "You wouldn't be doing your job if you didn't." He said, "I was terrible in the day," and you expect that kind of thing. But not every player is as generous as that. You know.
I was going to say, so obviously that's a lovely way of looking at it, and the way that you probably should look at it as a player. But have you had it the other way around, where any players have said anything to you or approached you over something you've said on air?
Not really. No, I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
That's good.
Sometimes you might get a relative or somebody like that, who might say something if you know the player quite well. In the old days, we got to know the players very well because obviously there was no agents or anything around it. The family came to the game, and if you chat afterwards, you'd be in go in the players' bar, which now you'd probably need.
You can't get anywhere near, can you?
It's not even. I don't think that's a thing anymore. The players' lounge was like everyone's got their own private boxes and stuff like that, so you don't see anyone. But players' lounge was it?
Yeah, I think that's a shame. But the game was about. I've got my notes from my very first game, and I've got 12 down one side, A4 piece of paper, and the other 13, because obviously they said we're taking 13, the away team. There's 25 players for a game. Probably often you knew both teams, so 22 players. Now you've got 25 players down one side and 25 players down the other. And it takes a lot more detail, and anybody could come on, particularly because with the extra subs now, you might have somebody who's just plucked, maybe even on the morning of the game from the youth team because somebody's dropped out, and you have no idea. And often it would be a name where, and we might get onto this, where pronunciation is, there's Rio Cardines, plays for Crystal Palace, came on the sub in Europe.
Yeah.
And he's Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah.
It could be Cardines,
Yeah.
it could be Cardines. And so he was on the bench for Palace but I wrote down Cardines like sardines, you know, those little things. So, and had I not seen the game and watched the game on television the week, I wouldn't have even known of him probably. So, you know, there's a lot of detail that wasn't there when you had totally British players when I started, really. So,
and you mentioned pronunciations. We're going to get into that in just a second, but just finally, just to sort of like round off this chat, Martin. Obviously, you left Sky, but you haven't retired, and I know you're saying you're still commentating on Premier League games. Has it been different, or has it been the same? And what sort of things are you up to? Because you've got your own podcast as well, don't you?
Yeah, Joy of Football
Yeah.
with Neil Barnett. Yeah,
Still waiting for the invite.
Episode.
I actually got the invite. Unlucky. We need to organise this,
That's
Martin. Actually,
he's family friend. Now I know. Family friends. That's why.
I know your playing commitments will now make it very difficult. Now.
Yeah.
Busy man.
We've done 80 episodes now, which is
Wow.
I'm not even one of them.
No, sorry, you weren't the top 80. Sorry.
But we're giving it a go. It's just grown organically. It was
Lovely.
not a commercial thing. So yeah, I mean, my contract ran out at Sky, and they decided not to renew it, and that's their right. I'd had 30 odd years there, absolutely wonderful. Wouldn't say a bad word about them at all, but there was a suggestion that I was retiring, which was not true at all. And it was complicated because I had a voice problem for the first time in my life. Around the time I knew I was already going, and then suddenly nobody really knows medically what it was, but it was weird because I could shout, but I couldn't conduct a conversation like this. I was not going to the coffee shop, not answering the phone unless it was somebody who knew that. So at the time it sort of came to an end at Sky, I was needing some medical expertise, and I had a couple of operations on a vocal cord. And it was a bit worrying at the time, and it took about 8 weeks to be able to get going again. Not a very nice 8 weeks. And then October of the next season, kindly Premier League, who I'd worked for before, took a punt on me and been better
Took a
again.
punt on you.
Come on, mate.
That's not what they did, Martin.
no,
they
they
didn't
did.
take a punt on you.
Taking a point on Erling Haaland. Yeah, he scored some goals before. I might give him a chance.
You're very kind, but it was a bit more of a punt than you probably know, because obviously they weren't sure whether
About
I could
your
do
voice,
it.
yeah, I understand.
And I'm still doing it, and still loving it,
Rightly
because
so.
football is football, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, if I can continue to impart my love for the game through commentary, then I'll do it until I fall off the gantry, really. So,
Well, watchers and listeners all around the world are still so lucky to be listening to you every single week in the Premier League, Martin. So we're going to tap into your expertise. Now, I feel like I've got a little bit of a head start here, because obviously working in the media, we obviously get told about pronunciations, but we're going to pick some of the hardest names to pronounce. We're going to guess how we think they're said, and then Martin, you can correct us. So let's go for the first one. Okay, I know this.
Shesko.
Yeah, but go on, so pronounce his first name. Because it's not actually Benjamin.
to be honest, when you started, and right at the start of your career, I didn't know whether it was Lescott or Lescott.
Lescott,
You could
yeah.
have come from, you know.
Could have been
Could have
French.
been Lescott, yeah.
Yeah, could have been. I think David Moyes tried to get me to Scotland. I think when I first signed for Everton, he was trying to see if I had any Scottish blood in me. I swear to God, I was like, no. It's too cold up there.
But yeah, we get sent, don't we? So like the start of the season.
Well, the players do it to
Yeah.
camera, and some of them don't take it as seriously as we do. But the one that always comes up is Bruno Fernandes, which is how he says his name, you know. And every time I check it every year, he says it exactly the same.
So what do you say?
Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah,
Because
that-
it was got too far gone,
Yeah.
you know. You could turn around and say, my name really is Lescott.
But no one now
But
will
no
call
one,
you that,
we
will they?
couldn't do that.
But that's what I wanted to know.
Joleon Lescott.
Yes. Very formal.
Yeah, that's the problem with the
Are you going to
get
do
it
the
safe.
first name? You're going to do the first
It's
name?
Benjamin Sheshko.
Benjamin.
Yes, but it's like a Y
Oh, okay.
when I heard him say that.
Shesko. But I would have just said Shesko. I don't have to say.
I would have
Benjamin.
said Sesko though.
The J's are a really big problem because in Portuguese they're because it's Jose Mourinho,
Yes, Jose,
not
yeah.
Jose
Yeah.
Mourinho. In Spanish, it's a H,
Yeah.
and it's a Y in German. Yeah, it's spelled J-A, isn't
Like I'm
it?
at school.
Yeah, and in all these Slavic languages,
Yeah.
so it's Benjamin, and the little curves over the S
Is
make them sh, so
Benjamin
it's Sheshko.
Sheshko.
Oh, they look like crowns.
Yeah. Now we'll remember that though. I remember that going forward. That means a
Sheshko.
sh. So Benjamin Sheshko. Okay, next one.
Yeah, you know,
I've actually genuinely got no idea. Okay, Tim.
Nah.
Arogbenum.
I don't know.
I mean, Arogbenum. Something like that.
it's Irobunum.
Oh,
Irobunum.
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 Tim Irobunum.
Yeah.
So basically the E and the G are silent.
Yes.
Irobunum.
Yeah, that's tough.
That's tough. That is tough. Yeah.
And
And also, like in the moment as well,
Yeah.
they've got to say it so quickly.
I've been guilty of that. Ones
you?
that I'm not confident in,
First
I say
name.
very fast.
Say
I
it,
get away with first name.
Say
'cause,
it quickly
You would.
and confidently.
You'd get away.
Yeah, we'll get away with first name because I could be a friend.
Yeah.
You can just say
Yeah,
Tim
first
from the
name,
Villa.
Tim.
Tim, like, yeah. When I first started to do the commentary and that, and they say about like surnames, I was like, I can't call Vincent Company. I can't just say Company.
Yeah,
I
you
tell
just
I've got to
got
say Vincent.
Yeah, that's
it's
fine.
kind of
I
weird.
can't do that though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, right, next one.
Ooh.
Oh, this one has been so confusing over the years. I've heard Taiwo Awonyi, Taiwo Awonyi.
Taiwo, I know Taiwo. That's about it.
Taiwo's 100% right.
Yeah, good.
I'm going to go Taiwo Awonyi. Awonyi.
I've got it on my
Awonyi.
phone actually, because we checked it out, and it is because of the last E bit. It sometimes gets lost.
Yeah.
So it's Awonyi. Awonyi. Awonyi.
Oh, you still
There's
go
two. There's two.
E.
The
Yeah,
two
there's
bits
two
are
Ys,
pronounced
yeah.
Awonyi.
Taiwo
But
Awonyi.
most people call him Awonyi, you
Yeah.
know, but it isn't that really.
Yeah.
But this is where custom practice is. Sometimes you're fighting. When a player from Sweden signed for Liverpool in the 80s, whose name is spelled Hysen, Hysen, I actually was the reporter on the touchline. He came to watch the Community Shield at Liverpool when we wasn't registered to play, so we interviewed him at half-time. And they're shouting, wrap it up, wrap it up. I go, Glenn, before you go, can you please pronounce your surname? Because I knew it was Hussein.
Yeah.
And it's Glenn Hussein. And it stuck.
Yeah.
But Jan Mulbu has never been anything other than Jan Mulby, has he? Because there's some you win, some you can. Some are very famous when they come here, and people accept that. Otherwise, it just gets anglicised.
Yeah.
So it's not an exact science, but you're doing very well.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay,
you.
next
Thank
one.
you.
Let's
You particularly, Joleon,
Yes.
because it's new. She's done it before.
I think I know this. You go.
No?
Yeah, you go. This is a game.
JC. Well, how do I pronounce them? Season.
Think about what we said about Sheshko.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, yeah. So, it must be sis.
The same applies over the sea, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Krasis.
I think it's Ladislav Krejci.
I think it's crazy, yeah. You think the J would have some influence in it, but
I wasn't far.
he's just
Yeah, you're close.
he's just joined Wolves, hasn't he?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Ladislav Krejci. Oh, I've seen this one because it's like compilations of like the funniest ones.
Yeah.
His was on there.
I
this
must
year.
start this wrong, totally wrong. Then if he's up there, I just thought I'd.
No, we got- how do you-
Ndai.
Yeah, it's like I would say Iliman Ndiaye.
Ndai.
It's Njai.
Who is it?
Yeah.
So it's a,
The DI is a sort of J.
J.
What a player.
Yeah. And he scored in the last game that I did. He scored the penalty
Yeah.
after Lacroix had fouled Iribunum.
Ah, there we go. Lacroix fouled Irabunum and Ndiaye scored the penalty.
Njai.
See,
Yeah.
Ndiaye scored the.
it's wrong again.
Shut up. You say it.
Enjoy.
That's it.
Right, okay, Martin. We couldn't bring you on the show without you doing what you do best. Me and Joleon are going to get some tips on how to be a commentator.
Oh.
Right. We got some microphones. Oh, wait. Me and you. Oh, God. Me and
Yeah.
you were doing it.
Yeah.
Right. This is Commentary 101. And Martin, we're going to ask you to test if we have what it takes to be a commentator and a co-coms. I'm going to be the commentator. I don't know why, though. I feel like I'd be a better co-coms, but you're the co-coms today.
Yes.
So, Martin, you're going to have to let us know Who wins?
I'm focusing in on this.
Oh God, I'm actually really scared. It's actually quite scary doing it in front of someone who's like the best ever in their field. Yeah. Okay, right. Red team versus blue team. We're going to go by numbers, not names, because there's no names.
And just relax. That's the key.
Martin, I can't be relaxed.
Relax.
I can't be relaxed. This is really not relaxing.
Relax it.
This is nerve-wracking. I don't like it. Right, the centre mid has the ball, plays it off to number 7. Lovely little touch there. No?
Great composure though from number 3. Goes out wide.
Oh, what is that tackle? He crosses it in.
The box.
What are we doing? We're both doing it at the same time.
Yeah, I think we're doing it as if we were on the radio.
Yeah,
people can't see.
I don't know.
Okay.
I'd be really bad at
there
this.
has been a goal scored, which you haven't referred to.
I got a bit confused because doesn't co-coms like... Why don't you be comms and I be co-coms? So you do the commentary and then I'll just pop up every now and again.
Start again.
Yeah, we'll start again. We'll do it again. Let's just forget that one ever happened.
All I
Can
would
you give us
say
some
is
tips?
don't overtalk each other.
Okay.
That's the first thing.
Yeah.
So
I'll
keep
be
it
co-coms. I'll be quiet.
short and sharp.
Yeah.
And be strong. Joleon, if you're going to be the main commentator, be strong with it. Yeah. You can be a bit more relaxed with that.
Relaxed.
So.
Yeah, this suits me. Right, Joleon, you go. Your comms.
So possession from the Reds. Get the ball out wide. Sustained pressure from the Reds now, so it's a good, patient build-up. Cross into the box and a great save initially. Great save.
What is the defender doing initially there? He goes to intercept the ball, completely misses it. Then the guy has a free header in the middle of right on the penalty spot, 6-yard box really. Good save by the keeper, but number 10 is there to knock it in. An empty net, and listen, the defensive team's got to do better there, Joleon. Was that good?
Very critical.
Was that better?
Very critical.
I thought that was
I'm from the Andy Gray and Richard Keys. Very
was
positive.
Was that not good co-coms?
Yeah, I think you could have probably emphasised the amount of space he had to cross the ball. You wouldn't have allowed that, would you? If you were left back or indeed as left centre back, you'd have been across to stop the cross. So really, I don't know where the marking was at all, and whether the guy who hit
I went
the goal,
down the positive route though, Martin. I didn't want to go down the negative route like Liv. I knew she was going to come and beam.
Well, there was poor defending, so you had to call it out as a co-com.
Well, she's a bit upset that the Blues.
Yeah, why did it have to be the Reds?
She really seen it was Chelsea.
Let's just say it should be the other way around after Chelsea beat Liverpool on the weekend, if anyone didn't know. What do you think, Martin? Who was better, Joleon as commentator or me as co-com?
Well, I'm not comparing oranges with oranges, am I? Really? So I would say in your different roles, you were both promising. I think.
Room for improvement.
Listen.
A little bit of room for improvement.
I'm not sure co-coms is for me. I don't know.
I did my first one 51 years ago, so I've had a bit of time to work it out.
Yeah, you had a bit of practice,
Yeah. So,
and obviously when you started off, I don't know why this is...
why are we talking into our mic?
Did you... you did it just on your own, so you just started off... It
was edited highlights, yeah. So basically I did a couple of tests before I was given the chance to do it. I'd gone into television from non-league football and I was really missing not being out on a Saturday afternoon. The only way I could get back out again was to try and do what I've done ever since. And it was a bit of a gamble, but I was lucky. I had a job in television. I was part of the production team. If you watch the Big Match Revisited, which is now quite popular, I think it's maybe on one of the ITV channels, and I'm on the production team credits, not as a commentator, because I was editing the goals together, and that was my weekend. Really logging material and just being one of the guys that helped in a small way to make that.
So you didn't know you had a voice for it before?
No.
You just wanted to play, and that was your way of staying in the game?
I only ever wanted to play, and I played till I was 27 and had a good go at it. And I played a lot of football since in charity games, things, but properly till I was 27. And then a year doing this job of editing the goals together, I realised I had to get out, and what was on the field was what really mattered to me. I think I was coached by some good people as a player. George Cohen, who won the World Cup with England, was a coach. Pat Welton, who ran the England under 21 team or something like that. No, they'd be the England under 18 team. He coached me. So I had a bit of knowledge from that. But I really missed, and even now I dream about playing. I don't dream about commentating, except all commentators do this. You dream about not getting there. That's your panic about that you do not get to the game. I have one dream where I'm sitting on the gantry, the game's about to start, and I'm actually sitting on the roof of a railway carriage and the train pulls out, leaving the pitch, taking me away from the game. So that's the panic about commentary. But I'm a much better player in my dreams than I ever was on the field. But that's how. So I did a couple of tests. We had a system where you got 1 weekend in 3 off. So I went to the game. I went to Arsenal v QPR, 1974, 2-2. And Alan Ball was playing for Arsenal, who'd won the World Cup. Stan Bowles was playing QPR, and a good QPR team. And of course, I had the access to the people who made the decisions. So I played the tape. It was just a cassette recorder. So I played the tape to somebody who had a bit of influence. By luck, within about 5 or 6 weeks, one of the ITV channels, one of the smaller ones, which is Meridian now, down the south coast of Southern Television then, were one short for a commentary over Christmas that year. And I remember the phone call coming in to the guy who helped me. And I just guessed it was like, because it was an open plan office, and I was looking across at him, and he suddenly turned away and was like having this conversation around the back. And I thought, oh, please don't recommend me because I'm not anywhere near experienced. And then please do recommend me because I maybe think I can do it, you know. And yeah, it was lucky.
The rest is history.
No, but it's been lucky. I do believe a bit in destiny.
You know how many games you've done, Martin?
Oh, apparently there's somebody told me there's a website that lists all the commentators, all the games, and it says about 3,000. But I don't think it would have had everything in that. No. I don't know. But
that's more than 3,000?
Probably, I would think. Yeah.
And what I would say is...
Not all of them live, obviously, that was the big thing.
Yeah.
But I will watch. But I like to watch with a purpose, Joleon. So I'll watch the Crystal Palace game in midweek because I'm commentating them on the Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
So then it really maintains your focus and you do the detail, which is really important. Still, you can't ever think you can just turn up and do it. I promise you. Prep is everything. Yeah. Fail to prepare to fail.
With international break this week, it's time to talk super subs with Sky Bet.
Your bet stays in play, even if the player doesn't.
Yes, just because their game is over doesn't mean yours is. With Super Sub, place a bet on a qualifying player-based outcome and your bet will carry over to the player coming on. Okay, so Joleon, I've got the answers here for the top 5 goal scorers from the bench in Premier League history. So I want you to guess who they are. Okay. So super subs. Who are the best super subs in Premier League history?
I'm going to say Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is one of them.
He is joint 5th. He has scored 17 goals from the bench.
Oh, so it's not... Okay. Yes. Super sub.
I'll give you... So the number 1...
Well, tell me the team.
Spurs.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he played for other teams, but I feel like...
so it's either going to be Crouch or Defoe.
Which one are you going to go for?
I'm going to say Crouchy.
Nope!
It's Defoe.
Jermaine Defoe is top with 24. Obviously, you played together for England. Yeah. Well, do you think he's underrated as a striker, as a finisher?
I don't know. I don't underrate him.
No. Do you think other people do? Do you think other people forget how good he was?
I definitely forget because I seen something the other day and they saying like he wouldn't get in teams today. I was saying JD would play in
most.
Yeah. Barring probably City. He plays a centre forward for every team.
I'd have him at Chelsea.
100%.
Yeah.
Probably have him now in the condition he's in, to be fair. He's a good nick, JD.
Okay, so Jermaine Defoe's number 1. Do you know who the others are? So
Crouch is not on the list?
No, Crouch is not on the list. No. Okay, so another name on the list.
Or team?
My team, but
team.
also played for Arsenal.
Willian? No. Okay, then. Play for your
Beautiful man.
Oh, Giroud. Giroud.
Olivier Giroud. He scored.
He's underrated.
Oh.
He's definitely underrated. He's one of the top goal scorers, or is he not the top goal scorer for France?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, unbelievable.
Giroud is a joke.
Okay, so there's a couple of other names on the list. See if you can guess them. One of them's still playing in the Premier League, still scoring goals in the Premier League.
Still scoring goals in the Premier League?
Scored a couple against my team the other week. Let's see
it's got to be like Danny Welbeck.
Yeah, Danny Welbeck. So Danny Welbeck, he scored 18. So you're missing number 3, and there's a couple of others at number 5 as well. Number 3,
it's tough, this.
United, Little.
Chicharito.
Yes, Javier Hernandez. He scored 19. And
I wouldn't have said him more than Solskjaer as well.
Yeah, okay.
Strange.
And the other 2 that are joint 5th, one of them is now a pundit on Sky Sports.
Joint 5th pundit.
Fairly
forward.
new to the pundit world.
No more clues.
Okay.
I'll get this.
Okay.
Fairly new. Pundit.
Try and do a celebration, but I'm not going to.
Studge.
Did that give it away?
Yeah, it's a celebration. Studge.
Yes, he is joint 5th with 17. And there is one more.
okay.
Do you want me to give you the team?
A clue, yeah. I'm not going to be able to guess out of all the teams. Arsenal. So RVP played a lot of games.
Nah, further back.
Further back. You score against your team?
I'm pretty sure it's yeah.
Cannon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Carney's joint 5th. Yeah. So they are the super subs. What about the players that you played with? Is there anyone that came, when they came on, you were like, yeah?
Edin Dzeko. He was kind of like, if he played well, he might not score. But if the game's not going his way, he was going to score.
Yeah.
He was kind of like in reverse, to be fair. But yeah, Edin could. Yeah. Similar to Giroud. Just very good at a lot of stuff.
Scored important goals as well.
There you go.
We'll recap on the Super 6 scores when fixtures resume next week. Me and you were tied, weren't we?
Yeah, last week.
I wonder who's going to be ahead now.
That's all from Super Sub. Head to Sky Bet to play yourself.
Selected leagues and markets only. Eligibility restrictions and T's and C's apply. 18+, gambleaware.org. Before we let you go, Martin, obviously, there was a big result on the weekend, Chelsea beating Liverpool, if I haven't mentioned it. But in terms of the title race and having a title race, where do you think the league could potentially end up this season? Is it Arsenal's year, do you think?
All I want is a proper title race as a neutral.
Yeah.
I'm not a neutral, but I want a title race. Like, I was happy that you beat Liverpool.
I was at Everton, as we've talked about earlier, and we talk about new grounds and the history that you have to create to make those grounds work, which Manchester City did when they moved from Main Road. And Arsenal haven't won the league since they moved from Highbury, which was so loved by everybody who was at the club then. You get Thierry Henry in here and he'll bang on about what a wonderful place it was to play football. And so that's got to happen. Is it going to happen? Will it happen?
It hasn't got to happen.
No,
But
it hasn't got to happen.
No, it hasn't got. It certainly hasn't got to happen. It's that's probably what's lacking. To have that sense of history for the people, younger people, people your age. Who've not gone way back to all the old grounds. I've did the Arsenal farewell. I did the Spurs farewell to White Hart Lane. I did the West Ham farewell. I did Goodison Park in May.
Yeah, and I was there for that actually, the Goodison.
Yeah, you were with all the old players came back.
Spurs went there.
Yeah,
that was nice.
I was doing the game with Leon Osman, who I saw at the weekend, and Leon couldn't wait. We were trying to finish the commentary.
So I
said, "Look, I'll wrap it up, Leon. Off you go, get across the lads." And he was pretty pleased on Sunday with the way they played, I think.
And it has been an absolute joy to listen to you, and it still is, Martin. And what I would say is, when we listen to someone like you, you make it look so easy. And it's a really not an easy job, like as you've just seen.
Yes,
as you've just seen, it's really not easy, and you make it look effortless. And it's been a joy to listen to you, and it still is all these years later.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Right, that is it from us this week on In the Mixer, brought to you by Sky Bet.
If you've enjoyed the episode, make sure you like and subscribe on YouTube, and remember, you can also listen on Apple Podcasts and Spotify if you're on the move.
Now, I have to say, the biggest thank you, Martin. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you for asking me. It's been lovely, really lovely. And it's such a posh surroundings that you're in. We do our podcast in Neil's kitchen, occasionally in my kitchen as well.
Love it.
But thank you. And, I hope everybody's enjoyed it and subscribe to all this and keep watching.
Perfect way to end, Martin. Thank you so much, and we will see you next time.